Hey there guys, it's Metro, and we are back again, taking a look at something on the 9.2.5 PTR, perhaps a precursor into what 10.0 is going to be. I'm recording this, we still haven't gotten an expansion announcement yet, but man, is this a really great storyline, dealing with some of my favorite lore in the game, the Scourge and Blood Elves in general, all the stuff from Warcraft 3 leading into what WoW is today. Absolutely adore it. Some people don't like the story of Shadowlands. I absolutely love how they're bringing back concepts, characters, things of old, like Uther and all these other big reveals, and how Lorthamar and Sylvanas have interacted and stuff like this. Just absolutely adore this kind of stuff. Really, that's the best part about Shadowlands story. Whatever you want to say about it, it has absolutely hit home for me. So I'm really glad that we're getting an opportunity to do this kind of stuff again. Kind of makes me wish they just did more heritage armor stuff, but this is just as good. Cool new transmog and new mount and stuff as well if you're interested in that. So let's take a look at this. But before we do, there's actually a little bit of a dialogue between characters that are happening currently in 9.2 on live that directly impacts this and perhaps what 10.0 might hold. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I sat for years upon the frozen throne. I felt a malevolent shadow upon my mind. I did not realize it was the jailer attempting to twist me into yet another of his pawns. It took all of my resolve to resist his influence, and yet I still have no way of knowing how many of my actions further Icecrown Citadel's true purpose. This is what is most insidious about him. Even after the jailer's defeat, the doubt he sowed within each of us lives on.
Without the helm of domination to control them, the Scourge roams leaderless. Nothing remains to temper their aggression.
Indeed. The mightiest among them already vie for supremacy, like vicious warlords in the wake of their king's death.
We cannot allow any of them to seize command and unite their forces. The Ebon Blade must remain vigilant.
And so we shall. Though Azeroth may never truly be rid of the Scourge, we will keep them in check. You have my word.
Icecrown Citadel remains a seat of dark power. We must not let it fall into enemy hands. Perhaps I should return to...
No, Bolvar. Let the frozen throne sit vacant. The Knights of the Ebon Blade will safeguard the Citadel in your stead. Talia needs her father.
Darian, thank you. Strange, is it not? We both lived lives of service, and even after facing death itself, we still feel compelled to serve others.
Sometimes, the greatest act of service is to be present for those who need us. Until we meet again, High Lord.
I answer to the light.
Greetings, Metro. Let us not mince words. You are urgently needed in Silvermoon. We're experiencing a resurgence of the Scourge in Quel'Thalas. With nothing to hold the Scourge in check, we'll soon be overrun. We must hold the line. Meet me in the Hall of Blood, and we'll get you a full briefing.
Remain vigilant. I am the blade of the light.
Good, you made it. Let us begin. We haven't much time. The Scourge have attacked Tranquillien, and there's nothing to hold them back. We must take decisive action.
These reports are alarming, Lady Liadrin. Tranquillien is in danger of being overrun by Scourge?
Their forces appear far too organized for this to be some random attack. Perhaps we should request additional aid from our Horde allies.
And waste more time awaiting their arrival? No. We must address this at once.
Then we must call up those still in training. We will hold the line and keep Quel'Thalas safe. I swear it.
Very well. I will open the way and meet you in Tranquillien.
Lady Liadrin, are you sure about bringing up trainees to fight? This is no mere training exercise.
I am. You will find their skills are more than adequate, but I shall let their performance prove it. They are ready.
I look forward to good news then. May the Eternal Sun guide you, Liadrin.
Finally! It feels as if I've been in training for ages. Send me to Tranquillien!
Salandria, this will be no easy task. More will be expected of you than any other.
Then I should prove myself, right? You said it yourself. We'll hold the line and keep Quel'Thalas safe. I intend to do just that.
Go then, and scout beyond the Dead Scar. Report back to Tranquillien with what you find.
Romath has opened the way for us to travel to Tranquillien. I warn you, it's already a bloody battlefield. Take the portal, and I will be along right after you. And Metro, keep an eye on Salandria. She may have excelled in her training thus far, but she has yet to be tested like this.
By the light. Quickly, get into town. I am the blade of the light.
Not a moment too soon. Let's get to work.
Aldiel Shalah.
I haven't seen Scourge mustering in numbers like this since... And never mind. There's no use dwelling in the past. Our first priority is thinning their numbers enough that we can find out what or who is really behind this attack. Slay as many undead as you can.
Fight well.
Baladash Malanore.
This is no mindless strike. I have a strong suspicion that some powerful entity is manipulating the Scourge. Ever since the Helm of Domination was shattered, there's been a conceivable risk that someone else could exert their will and assume control over the undead, at least temporarily. Romath and I can help defend Tranquillien, but we need to break those lines. Clear a spot for us. Let us see if we can draw out their leader.
Safe travels.
The Eternal Sun guides us.
The rabble have arrived. Senlane here? Take him down while we finish the ward. See you soon.
That's not very reassuring. Quickly, to the next ward.
I have overcome death.
There he is again! Put him down for good!
Do you you sense the futility yet?
One more ward to go. I suspect we'll soon have company. Here he comes!
You think to be rid of me so easily?
That's it! I sensed a surge of magic coming from Deathholm at the moment of his demise. Let's get back to Liadrin and report what we have found.
Salandria, report your findings. What do we face at Deathholm?
Even more Scourge than anticipated. But we managed to get close enough to look inside. That Sanlane Aethys mentioned had some sort of crystal array. He kept appearing within it, almost as if summoned.
That explains the surge of magic I sensed. That traitor has found a way to cheat his own death.
If we can overpower his safeguards, perhaps we can send his accursed soul to the Shadowlands for good.
Then that is our next move. Upstairs there is a weapon. If infused with the proper power and wielded by worthy hands, it just might change our fortunes.
The Sanlian are Vampiric Scourge, a sect of Darkfallen known for their guile and dark magic, particularly the manipulation of blood and shadow. Vorath clearly is working on his own, in the absence of the Helm of Domination. The weaker Scourge flock to the more powerful. If we can dispose of him, we can rout the rest. Well struck, but for every undead we strike down, more will come. We must find a way to stop them at their source. The wards are in place, and that should give us some breathing room. But the Sanlian has me worried. It's clear that the Sanlian has decided to use the Scourge to empower himself somehow. We can keep taking him out, but he will just keep coming back. We need a weapon that can break him for good. I think I have a solution. Upstairs you will find a newly forged Ranseur. It is yet to be tempered with magic. We will need to unlock its full potential. It will be our instrument of the light.
You think that antique will save you?
Good, that's exactly what we need. Now it's time to temper this Ranseur with enough power to destroy the Sanlian once and for all.
Shorel Aran.
If we are to defeat Vorath, we need to amplify the power of this Ranseur, but we will not cut corners or impose our will to do it. That lesson has been learned. However, the Kyrian of Bastion are masters of ushering souls to their proper places. Perhaps they would lend a fragment of their power to our cause. Go to Bastion and find a way to empower the Ranseur. We're clearly dealing with someone who is using terrible magic to suspend his own death. There's another force we know of that uses magic in this faction. The Maldraxxus are ultimately familiar with the trappings of death, and equally familiar with how to subvert it. Perhaps the one of the houses knows the way to help us. Go there and seek out the power that can break this unnatural loop.
My portal can take you as far as Orgrimmar. Hurry, we have no time to waste.
I'll meet you there, in the Shadowlands. Are you ready? Let's go!
I suppose if one happened to die, this wouldn't be such a bad place to end up. This Kyrian says he will help us.
I'll see you again soon, right?
Peace be upon you.
A soul that refuses to cross the veil is a problem we Kyrian are familiar with. I can help you, but before I grant your weapon this power, I must know that you will not abuse it, and that your heart is true. Let us run a race. Along the course, ring the bells. If your heart is pure, they will aid your speed. You must have at least 5 bells recently rung in order to complete this race. Do not be distracted by shortcuts, and do not try to cheat to get ahead. It will not work. Are you ready?
This looks like it might give us an edge.
Often what looks like a shortcut only leads to grief. Stay true to your path.
Stay true to my path.
Our purpose is clear.
Such a stubborn young knight. She almost seems to dredge up a memory of long ago. Here, accept this gift of power. I wish you victory over your foe.
Fly free of your burdens.
Strange. Speaking with you, it is as if a long-forgotten memory flickers in my mind.
Perhaps I remind you of my mentor, Lady Liadrin? She said she was adopted like me by a man named Vandalor.
I do not recall. To better focus upon the service I perform, I let go of my mortal memories. Even so, it was a pleasure to meet you, young one. May your weapon serve you well.
One down! Now on to the next challenge in Maldraxxus. I'll meet you there, friend. It's so good to see you again.
We're not in Quel'Thalas anymore. Let's get what we need as quickly as we can, and we've got no time to waste.
Aldiel Shala.
A cowardly pest that cheats his way out of the glory of death? Bah! I have something that'll cut him down where he stands. But such an enhancement requires one who is strong enough to wield it properly. Show me your mettle and fight. If you can prove yourself, I'll empower that Ranseur of yours.
We can defeat him, no problem.
There will be blood.
Point me at my foe.
I never said you would fight me.
Nardalel! What a dirty trick!
Well fought. I admit I did not expect such a battle from you. Meet me down below, and I'll empower your Ranseur.
Here, take the power we've honed and use it to defeat your hardest to kill enemies. If that Sandland ever shows up here, well, he'll have an appropriately warm welcome. Such power. Surely not even Vorath can withstand the might of this weapon now. We have what we came to the Shadowlands for. The Ranseur is ready. Let's get back to Lady Liadrin and Tranquillien. I hope we're not too late to make a difference.
That's it! We have what we were asked to get. Let's return to the Matriarch and report our success.
Now that you have empowered the Ranseur, it's time to show our full might on the battlefield. Are you ready? Take the empowered Ranseur and cut a swath of destruction through the Scourge. We will meet you at the doorstep of Deathholm.
Wipe the Scourge from the dead Scar. We will meet you at the gates of Deathholm.
Once more, the rabble arrives for a showdown. Have you learned nothing? I am beyond death! I am eternal! What is this? What have you done to that weapon?
Pleasantries can wait.
He's here. We've driven the fiend back into his cage. Now send him to his doom. You made short work of the Scourge and the Dead Scar, but we have a bigger target to face. It's time to test the mettle of your weapon against Vorath. Let us finish this together.
Remain vigilant. Quickly now! Use the Ranseur on his body before he comes back to life! Get behind me! I answer to the light.
It's done. Already the Scourge are beginning to scatter. We can dispose of the rest in time. The power of this Ranseur has been spent, but we are victorious. With Vorath defeated, perhaps the Scourge will be more easily dealt with, thanks to you. Meet me back in Silvermoon. Your efforts and heroism today will not go unrecognized.
Fight well. Are you two all right?
Still standing, and thank you for the shield. I think I may still have a few lessons to learn.
One never stops learning, little Phoenix. Come, let's get back to Silvermoon. Anaria Shala.
Congratulations and well earned.
Shorel Aran.
I will inform the Ebon Blade of what transpired. If the Scourge caused such problems here, I suspect matters in Northrend may be even worse. But regardless, your efforts must be lauded. When our lands were threatened, you stood strong and held the line.
You have demonstrated cunning, determination, and integrity. Hallmarks of what it means to be a Blood Knight. Accept this gift as a symbol of your dedication and bravery. We will never forget that your aid was instrumental in ending this crisis. For Quel'Thalas.
For Quel'Thalas.
So that's a great little storyline. Always really happy to spend time in Silvermoon whenever I can get a chance. It's so out of the way. Still can't fly here, which is crazy. Just love being here, honestly. So love any type of Blood Elf stuff. Even though I'm not even playing Horde anymore, Blood Elf's still probably one of my favorite races. Hate the animations, love everything else about them. So we have this awesome two-handed pole arm here, really, really nice looking. Near and dear to my heart, to be honest, because me and Kot recently had been playing Classic and he's been playing TVC, and the original Blood Elf Paladin questline gives you a weapon somewhat similar to this. Now I have the transmog, but honestly, it looks really bad compared to anything that's in the game. So I really like seeing these kind of old ideas brought back into the game thematically and redone and remade. On top of that, you also get this set, which to be honest, I don't like whatsoever. However, it looks very much like a recolor of stuff that's already been in the game. Looks very similar to another paladin set I think I've already seen. Overall, what she's wearing is what I was definitely hoping we were going to get, but you know, it's whatever. It's cool. Nice new transmog. Not something I'd probably ever wear. It looks way too similar to stuff that's already in the game, but nice little storyline. We also got the green mount, which I guess was never in the game. I don't know. There's so many of these. I kind of can't keep track of them as Blood Elf, but absolutely love spending time. The heritage and the idea of Blood Elf in general, like progenitors from Warcraft 3 leading all the way here today. Absolutely adore it. Hope you've enjoyed it. This is on the PTR. Maybe some things will change. I don't know. Maybe they'll change something about it, but anyway, thank you for watching. We will see you guys in the next one.